We ready right now.
All I know is this violates every canon of respectable broadcasting.
How are you?
Hey, who wants to help me get this recorder out of here? I need some muscle over here.
You are listening to Blame Your Brother.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody, to Blame Your Brother, episode 218. We have got a fun one in store for you today. Once again, big things happen in the news, which we will, of course, be discussing at length. And we also have our top movie villains of all time, which we are excited to get to that, make that definitive list for all you people out there. That'll be some good discussion, especially with everything happening in the world this week. So, yeah.
I think the list was inspired.
Yes.
Let's just say that.
We'll say that, right? Not villains. But yes, we are Blame Your Brother. There's two of us that come to you every week. I am one half of that duo. I am David, a.k.a. D-Brew, voice of the people, Mr. 40%, Glenn Jackson, the spiritual midget. And this gentleman sitting over to the left of me, it's my friend John.
Hey everybody, John here, the good guy, Mr. Groupon, Mr. PTI, the madman.
They got John Tortorella, a madman. They do have a madman. Okay, he's a madman.
All right, there you go. So David and John, we make up Blame Your Brother. And like I said, a lot to talk about. So we will just go ahead and get the ball rolling. An oldie but a goodie. Any apologies or retractions, John, from last week? When you look back at your list, let's focus on the list. I felt like that was probably your strongest list you've ever had to date.
I thought it was a pretty good list.
Best sequels. It was, I mean, there's not many times I'll leave here going, I think that was better than mine. And that it was a good one. So probably no apologies on that. But is there anything else that came to mind as we talked about the Capitol Riots and the chaos that was happening there? I mean, what a mad world we live in. I noticed. So, John, I noticed, like, you engage with people on Facebook. You're engaging with all, like, your right-wing friends. I've noticed they've come out of the woodwork. Like, when you post things about them, so I want to talk about it. So many of them come to you, and they're like, well, if loving America's right-wing, then I'm right-wing, damn it. Like, tell me, what is going on your Facebook when you post? I mean, pretty much, what was it just what you said? I guess all the right-wingers are going to be...
I said, after what happened in last week, I said, well, the good news is a lot of the right-wing people aren't posting much right now. Yes,
and then they let you know they were still there for you. So when you see this, has anyone surprised you that's responded? Or were you just like, nah, man, that's pretty much... That's pretty much who I thought the right wingers were. Like,
I mean, one person I thought was a surprise. It's a girl I know, and her sister was like praising the post, and then she was like, "No, my husband this and blah blah blah."
What about her husband? Because I don't know these people, and I'm reading your comments, and what is with these people? I mean, what point does a right-winger admit and claim, like my friend Jeff, right-winger, will tell you, like, I'm a right-winger, I'm proud of it. What is with the gist of these people that support Trump, believe the Capitol riots weren't that bad? I mean, I don't know anyone personally that came out and said, yo, these were cool, but it was always, well, this, or wasn't the same as this.
A lot of excuses are going out, allegations, a lot of people right after the fact.
Yeah.
Not now, but right after the fact, it's really Antifa. And
which let's look at that. If Antifa was brilliant enough to go undercover in the Trump regime, they planned out a riot on Capitol Hill knowing these fools would do this, okay? If they masterminded all of this, then they got everyone that was involved arrested. I'd say you have to let them go with it. They're brilliant. Like, you're telling me, so Antifa was smart enough to do this at Capitol, but every other riot or protest they've been part of failed miserably. I mean, It's just stupid. It doesn't even make any sense.
It doesn't.
Especially with the fact that they're arresting all of these people that were literally involved with it. Have you seen this stuff on the internet this week? It is. So if you love the movie Goodfellas, at the end, there's a good sequence where everyone's getting arrested at the end of the movie. And the song, Layla, somebody took all these people getting pulled off the airplanes and arrested and put Layla underneath, and it was a fun watch. I mean, what? Wow. Just it's insanity.
I hadn't seen that one.
Yeah, it's a good
pretty
one.
good.
But, I mean, what your friends that you know, so you knew pretty much, like, yo, these, like.
From the past, I guess since, like, August is when, like, everybody, not just the right wing, but the left wing, everybody just kind of came out of the woodwork. And I posted stuff like, look, if you're posting something political, I'm just zooming by you, or I'm going to ignore you for 30 days.
Right, yeah.
No offense, but that's not why I'm friends with you. I care about you, but I just don't need that.
Yeah,
and it was negative on both sides for a while. And then, like, after the election, the left negativity kind of died down.
Yeah,
greatly, and so and even a lot of the right, kind of toned down a little bit, but there were still quite a few that were like that separated them.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, and
but Wednesday of last week, it was just like a hard stop, and I was like, well, I mean, there's that, and then but now it's starting to pick up again.
Right.
And,
so
like, more people are like, and then, like, a few more people started posting on that comment, and then I was like, and they're back.
Yeah, they're back. So I felt the same way about. I really essentially took a break from, and I am a news junkie, and I am a political junkie, and I love it. I love the system. I love the drama that comes with it. I love the clashes. I love when things get done. I do. I love it. I know some people don't. I love it. I love it. I could watch it. I'll watch all.
I like the progress part of it.
I like
that. I haven't seen that in a long time.
I love the drama. Because it's like wrestling on a grand scale.
I mean, yeah.
And it's real, allegedly. As authentic as people can be that are bought and paid. But still, I love watching it, but I had to take a break because it was so heavy on my soul and my psyche over the last several weeks. I had to take a mental break. I started having, and this has never happened to me before. I'm 43 years old.
Dreams.
I started having moments of panic and despair, just thinking I would literally sit in my chair where I work at home, and I went, something bad's going to happen. I didn't even mean about this. I mean, in my life, I was starting to get like existential dread, essentially. And I discovered I've kind of gotten off social media quite a bit, and I've turned off the TV, and I was like, all right, a lot of this stuff has faded away. Fantastic. And now it's back,
I mean, that's initially why I didn't vote for Trump.
Right. And I just don't, I mean, we'll obviously talk a little bit more about that, man, but I just want to kind of recap that, yes, that's what we talked about last week. And I almost feel that I did not go hard enough on these people because I feel this is treason to me. This is the definition of insurrection and treason. This is people who, in their mind, at the worst case, they're incompetent and they're stupid and they were like a dog that chases a car, and they didn't know what they were going to do with that car once they got it. That's what I really think. That's what I want to think. Or they were incompetent and had a plan, but it couldn't follow it through. Who knows?
I think it was the first one, and I think they got in there and they're like, holy crap, this worked.
Yeah. And
then they just like decided to just turn into high school teenagers.
Yeah.
Picking up the podium and doing.
It's so weird, right?
I mean, yeah, that's what I think happened. And I just, if you look at to the beginning of last year, if everybody took a measure of like decency,
right,
and like, because I mean the big selfishness, being self-righteous, or being just plain stupid. If you eliminated those three things from the beginning of last year, I don't think we'd have been in this mad dash for a COVID vaccine.
You're probably right. Yeah.
I don't think that there wouldn't have had to been a mandate. People would have been wearing masks out of common decency.
Yes, if decency existed. I mean, does it?
Apparently, it doesn't now. Not
on a grand scale. No. I mean, even if half the country's decent and the other half's not, that's all it takes. It defeats the purpose.
There was a guest that was staying at the hotel earlier this week, and he was like, "Oh, they're taking all this," and I mean, I can't be confrontational with them.
Of course, you're at work, yes.
And so I'm just like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "I mean, I got it twice, and I was fine." I'm thinking, "You idiot! You're the problem."
Mm-hmm. Like anyone that gets it twice, suspect. Like, how dumb are you, man? Like, let's say you got it once, it wasn't bad. Like, wouldn't that, like, and you've heard reports that people can get it twice, wouldn't that encourage you to be like, yeah, I probably don't want to get that again? I look at it, and we've talked about this before, it's not about you, people. It's not about you. It's about who can you give it to that won't survive. I mean, imagine you're reckless and you go to one of these, these Trump rallies, and I will differentiate. Most of the Black Lives Matter protests I saw, mask, 95% of the crowd. You can look at the picture on the screen right now, this Capitol Hill squad, and I can see like one mask in this squad, or maybe two, which,
and I think that one was just trying to look like Bane.
Yeah,
with glasses.
So. I got a skull bandana. I've got one of those. I'm so embarrassed I would never wear it. But just imagine you're there. You take that home to grandmother, and grandmother dies. Now you're living with that for the rest of your damn life, dude. Yeah. Like you can't rewind that. That's decency right there. So it is wild. Well, it's good to see these people were getting arrested. I hope they throw the book at them to discourage this. I mean, it's so wild now. I don't know what's going to happen on the 20th. I really don't.
I mean, I hope they amp security. I hope nobody does anything stupid. I don't, at this point in time, I don't have a lot of faith in the American public.
I don't. Now, the only thing I'll say, Capitol Hill, probably going to be fine. I mean, the National Guard is there in droves of numbers. But they've talked about individually going around to different states like Tennessee, which is insane, because what are you protesting? This is literally a Republican state, you morons. What are you protesting? Your people are in office. What are you going up there to do?
Yeah.
But now they're looking at people like, Pence. There was a plan, apparently, to murder Pence. Now, this may have been an abstract plan, but there was a plan to hang Pence, kill Nancy Pelosi. But Pelosi, I'm not justifying it all, but I can at least understand their stupid logic, okay? That's the enemy. Pence is your guy, and he didn't back Trump, and now you want to kill this guy. Like, hang him, dude. They were talking about hanging him as in slavery days when they hung people.
Yeah.
Like, how insane. Now, even Marsha Blackburn, who is a right-winger, okay?
Yeah.
You can't say she's not. They're talking about she's a traitor now. She's a rhino, Republican in name only.
Yeah, I've
if
heard
people
that
don't know
a
what that
lot.
is. But it's insane, man. It's insane. We got to, we'll talk about Trump a little bit.
I mean, the people accosting these representatives in public. I mean, Mitt Romney can't get on a plane without people calling him a traitor.
Right, I know. Which, yeah, we've talked about Romney. Whether you agree with his, ideals, his beliefs, his stances, you have to look at this guy and go, well, at least he's a decent guy, which I've always looked at. I understand anyone we interact with, we're not going to agree on everything politically, ideally, anything.
Yeah.
You said it earlier, are you a decent person? Are you decent? Can we disagree and go, I see your point, I disagree with it. It can get a little bit heated. There's nothing wrong with a spirited debate. You can't end the debate going, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what these people, that's what their mantra, we're just going to kill everything we don't agree with. That doesn't work. That worked many, many, many centuries ago. That stuff worked. They want the Wild West, I guess. I don't know.
Or the animal kingdom.
Yeah. That's true. And you could argue they're dogs, but and that's probably insulting dogs. So I want to apologize for that already. But yes, we've got it. We got a good chat going tonight. We are live every Thursday night, so come hang out with us. But Jeffrey Stiles says, I think they listen to Donald Trump too much. Yes, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Robin was surprised the man got twice. Yes, there are people that can get COVID twice, which is crazy. And Glenda says, I have a husband that I have to keep myself safe from COVID. He has many conditions, so that is my reason for wearing a mask, which makes sense. So,
yeah.
Well, there we go. Well, we'll get into more news this week, but we're just recapping the last episode. I think we were solid then. how's your week been this week? Anything worth talking about, or
I worked a lot.
Yeah, you said you were a little bit tired today.
Yeah,
which we constantly talk about. That John, if you're your first time tuning in to the program, John works the midnight shift, and then during the day watches his kids as well. So I don't know when you sleep. I don't know. I got like 5 hours of sleep one day this week, and I was like upset about it. I was like, but
that's a dream, man.
I know, right? You're like 5 hours, please. So, but yeah, everything good though. Everything good this way. All right.
Pretty good.
I'm trying to think. Nothing really big happened this week. It was kind of a back to the real world. The kids are back in school. They were at home.
Are you doing live school or?
Yeah, they go to school. So I've been at the house, been quiet at the house, work from home, and it's been quiet at the house.
Mine are still doing the virtual learning.
Okay, so
I mean, I'm on the fence about it. With this new strand that's coming out.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to if my son was going to school, I would be able to get a lot more sleep than I am.
Yeah. Well,
but
hopefully soon. I mean, I'm ready. I'm ready for the vaccines. If they called me right now, if I got a mysterious call and it's like, yo, this is CDC, bro. If you can be down here in an hour, we're gonna vaccine you. I'd go. Broadcast is done. I'd be down there right now. I'm eager to get it. I will be one of the first people to get it. We've had enough people now that have gotten it. They're fine. We've had studies done, clinical trials. Get the damn vaccine. That's the only way to start moving toward normal. Now, these mutated strains will have to. We don't even know if the vaccine works against them because we don't have enough people vaccinated at this point. So. So we'll see. Well, yeah, the kids are back in school, so that's good, and everything is back to normal. But obviously, we got to get into this week was historical in the wrong kind of way. So our boy Donald Trump. If we could play music on this show that was copyright, I would play the Sarah McLachlan. I will remember you because I'm about to pull up the Trump montage. Now these are collection of some of the greatest. Trump pictures during his presidency. Right here, he's staring up at the eclipse with his eyes with low glasses on. Here is when he catered the championship game with fast food, McDonald's, which he seems to like a lot. Here's a picture of him throwing paper towels at the relief, tornado relief. Here's another one where he is saluting a North Korean general. I really let that sink in, John. He's saluting a North Korean general. Here's the one where he was promoting products in the White House office here, Goya, beans and Mexican food products. Here's one where he was getting very.
Is that how they're paying for the wall?
That's yeah, right. That's a Me Too movement with the American flag right there. And hopefully these are all on the screen if you listen on the podcast, but you know them. Him at the tiny desk. That's another good one. I mean, this guy. Some of these images are they're laughable. And this is where he couldn't drink water properly, which, dude, there's so many wacko moments with this guy. There's so many. We kept wondering, like, when is this? When is it? I mean, if he was just a moron, like if he was like a Gerald Ford, he's autographing the Bible there. That's great. There's so many goofy moments. If he was just incompetent moron, like kind of like a Gerald Ford, we could laugh at this. There could be more funny SNL skits about it, but he's a danger. Yeah. As we always said, what's the worst that could happen? Well, we just saw it last week. That's the worst. And he is responsible. And so this week, historically, the man was impeached for the second time, the only president to ever do it in American history.
You did it.
I mean.
You've come so far.
You can't even, if you told, like, we talked about this constantly. There's no way you could have told me that at the beginning of his presidency. And said, this man will be impeached twice. I would have said, there's no way. That is impossible. That's literally impossible. It almost, as a sports fan, it was almost as bad as the Buffalo Bills back in the 80s and 90s. Lost four Super Bowls in a row.
Kept losing.
And back then, you told me, yo, the Bills are going to go every year, and you'd be, nah, man, that's impossible. Like, you got to fall into something. Impeached by the House. The Senate will rule on it after he is out of office. Now, a lot of people ask, well, why wait to do that? Well, the key of it is if he's impeached and found guilty by the Senate, an official, he will no longer be allowed to run for office ever again. This is the chance for the Republican Party to do the right thing. It's time to abandon the letter R and do the right thing. This is the chance.
I mean, they have nothing but to gain from kicking him out.
Well, you would think that. And, I mean, I just think morally if do is right. But here's their fear, is that he still has a lot of supporters that are going to be in the world. Like, they're not going to disappear. These people love him. Don't forget, I mean, half the country almost voted for this guy. And you can say, yeah, well, some of them didn't want to, but they did. And a lot of those people that did vote for him love him, and they would gladly vote for him again in 2024. So the Republicans, the ones that are sticking with him, are fearful that he's going to start his own news agency or whatever, his social media site. He's going to get all of his base followed up. And so when the Republican wins in 2024, they're going to have zero chance of winning. Let's say it's a Mitt Romney. I'm just picking that now. I know he wouldn't run, but Mitt Romney runs. Biden runs again, hypothetically. And then here comes Trump. Even if he doesn't run, he can still have a lackey run. Those votes get split between Romney and his lackey. They're out. They lose. Yeah. He could damage the Republican Party, which in that aspect, the Democrats and the liberals should love it. But like I said, all the bad stuff that comes with it, you can't. But he is essentially destroying this party. And they didn't know this. I mean, that's what kills me, man. Like, if you teamed up with I like to come back. We like to go to movies and analogies like that. You don't team up with the Joker.
I knew you were going to say that.
You don't team up with the Joker and think it's going to end well at the end of your plan. Yeah. Like, things are going to go horribly bad. You cannot control. It's like a wild dog, dude. Like, if you're taking a wild dog out, you can't control it at some point. So I don't know. What do you even have any thoughts about this? Like, did you ever think it's a young Republican this would ever happen to a sitting president, man?
No.
I mean, come on. Like
I said, when around that time, the early 90s in comic books, Lex Luthor was a president.
Yes.
And that's when I stopped reading DC Comics.
Okay.
Until, they had the Superman death thing.
Okay.
But yeah, I stopped reading DC Comics at that time. It was like, even for comic books, this is unbelievable.
Right.
No, that's believable.
They had it. They nailed it. They had it. Oh, it's wild. And his inability to give an apology for anything is really, just him being an evil, I say racist, whatever he is. What do you want to call him?
I think he's just incapable of lifting anyone else up. Period.
Right. And so he's been unable to issue an apology and I think he's doing that because I think as I've listened to a lot of talk lately, and I agree with these pundits to say it, I feel he thinks he's going to be sued and held liable and civil. That's why he came out with this address, the nation speech that came out yesterday. And it was like written by a 5-year-old. I don't stand for this. Dude, we could pull lines that you've given over your 4-year career that specifically and explicitly find you guilty.
Stand down, but stand by.
Stand by. He had that one. He had the threatening the governor of Michigan. He talks bad about the Muslim representative. I can't think of her name now, but basically, get her out. He had the whole crowd Get her out for what? She's an American citizen. You can't just take Muslims who are American citizens and kick them out of the country. He incites riots. Yeah. Like people said, Charles Manson didn't kill anyone. Last time I checked, that dude died.
He's on death row.
He didn't die last year. I can't. The point is, he didn't ever get out. He didn't kill anyone, but his words inspired people to kill. Look, Hitler. I know, Hitler to Trump, but did Hitler kill anyone? I'm not aware that he killed anyone, but he definitely was responsible. He ordered death, so that is a little bit different. But still, I'm saying words are powerful, especially in this era we're in right now. Yeah. Very powerful. So, I don't know, man. It is a wild time. I don't know we've still got another week to go, man. That's what's crazy. We got 1 week to go. So next week, as we record this, will be everything will have happened or not happened. So I hope. I think everyone of a sound mind hopes it goes smoothly. I'm glad he's not going to the inauguration, truthfully. I don't think you need him there. I think it'd be a big distraction. I mean, I think he should swallow his pride and go, but he's not. Yeah. But, I really think it's asinine that he's not going. It's such a 5-year-old. I lost a game. I'm out.
I mean, Trump swallowing his pride is back to that biblical, fitting a camel through the eye of a needle.
Right. It's so bad.
Yeah.
Well, obviously that was the big news, and it has been, you just look back and it's like a national nightmare, essentially. It's a nightmare, a smorgasbord of just, it's like a bad Netflix movie, like it just doesn't make any sense. And hopefully, like I said, we said last week, we'll say it again, let's get back to some version of normalcy. Let's get everyone vaccinated. Let's get this orange guy out of here. Let's get him removed from our lives. Let's not talk about him anymore, and let's move on. But we'll see. I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen because I said his people are still out there, still drinking the Kool-Aid, still the QAnon, still that. These people exist.
When I first heard of QAnon, I thought it was the most ridiculous thing on the planet. But yet the person who wanted me to take a look at it, I was not surprised.
An Alex Jones disciple?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy you worked with, yeah. So, I don't know, man. It is wild. So, all of that being said, we're going to move past that. It happened. It's terrible. He went down history. I would love to be able to maybe be 200 years old and read the history books then, 100 years from now, to see what they'll say about this guy, because it will be fascinating. I mean, you can say whatever you want about Obama. I think whether you think he did a lot, he did a little, he was first African-American president, there's not going to be a lot of things about him, especially in this manner. Trump could be an entire history book that kids learn about. Like, this is literally the playbook of what not to do. So, I don't know. But all that being said, it brings us somehow to our list, which is going to be today. We're doing the Mount Rushmore, the draft Mount Rushmore of movie villains. Is that what you did? Movie villains?
I did movie villains that were not comic book movies.
Okay. Yes, I agree with you. Yes, I look at
otherwise, I mean, that might be the whole list.
That's true. Yeah, I think we agreed that we're trying to stay away. Here's what I would say: if you just happen to do the Joker, I would have let it pass. In Dark Knight, I would have let that pass. But I don't have him on my list because of that. But that is almost like,
it's almost a gimme.
It is, but it's almost not a comic book movie. I mean, I know it is.
We kind of discussed that last week,
right?
Whereas The Dark Knight Rises is like, it's a comic book movie,
right?
But The Dark Knight, I mean, it's a
standalone movie. Like, if you could introduce that to someone and go, hey man, here's this movie. They don't know who Batman is. They'd be like, all right, that's cool. You understand enough. It's a well enough. It's not Batman Forever.
Well, I mean,
there
are comic book movies that you wouldn't know were comic book movies,
right?
If you weren't told. V for Vendetta.
Right, that's a good one.
That's a comic book movie.
Right, that's a good example.
But I mean, unless someone told you, and if it wasn't for the most iconic comic book character in history, I mean, Man of Steel, it's about comics, but
right,
it was more a movie about an alien than it was a comic book movie.
Right, yeah. So
that's
just our explanation. What makes a good villain to you, John? What makes a good villain?
There are different types. There's your villain that just encapsulates evil.
Okay.
There's your likable villains. There's your villains that you can understand why they did wrong.
Okay. So what for your list is that you're drawing on all of those things?
I pulled from different things for different spots.
My list. Here's my thing. My list. I don't think these people are likable. They're not supposed to be likable. Okay, I'll say that. Sometimes people like things they shouldn't like. I may like the performance, but when I look at this character, I would not like them. That's how I'm looking at it. Like, I want people that would scare me. I hate villains in movies that are like.
I've got one on my list that.
Okay.
That's definitely scary.
Yes.
But as long as you were able to be separate from him, you probably would really enjoy to just have a sit down with him.
That's interesting. Okay.
And so.
Well, now I'm very curious to go. All right. So.
I went last week first.
You went first last week.
So
all right.
you get the first spot this week.
Oh, wow. I thought I was second. So, okay. I know who your number one is, and I'm not going to take it.
Okay.
I'm not going to take it because I know, because we talked about it after the show, and I think that would be poor taste. So I'm just going to go with what I think is your number one. If you told me last week, I'm not doing that one. Now, I did say this person in this movie is a delight to watch, but there is no way in hell I would be anywhere near this person at any period of time, not even on the other side of glass interrogating them. My number one is Hannibal Lecter.
That's actually the one I was referring to.
Okay. So Hannibal Lecter, to me, encapsulates a villain.
He's extremely intriguing.
He is intriguing, but would you ever want to be anywhere near? Like, would you want to be Clarice interviewing that guy with a glass?
That wouldn't be enough. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know.
But I would want to talk to him.
Ooh.
I would love to be able to pick his brain, and just to be able to see, because he, as evil and as messed up as he is a genius.
Oh yeah, yes.
And so that aspect, I would love to be able to
right
gather from.
Well, he is. I mean, Silence of the Lambs, all-time classic movie.
Oh, yeah.
Rewatched it actually a couple months ago. Just wanted to. I got into watching some older movies.
I thought this was going to be your third choice.
Oh no, this is terrifying. Like terrifying. Like when I look at the list, there's some that are as terrifying as him, but a dude.
What were you going for?
So I'm going for people that truly frighten me. Okay. People that I would never want to be around in any aspect. I wouldn't even want to be in the same building as these people on my list of everybody I'm looking at. Yeah. Now, I will say a few of the performances, Hannibal Lecter, I think all the performances are great. I think that also, I need a great performance from an actor for them. That's almost unfair, but that's what makes them iconic, in my opinion.
I agree with you on that one, because for that reason, I did not pick any slasher.
Yes. Oh, I didn't
pick any slashers.
I'm not a horror film fan. I will watch them, but I don't seek them out. Okay.
I mean, if I was forced to put one on,
who would you put?
I would put Freddy Krueger, because there's a level of entertainment.
He's too jokey.
That's exactly the only reason why.
I know, but
he separates him.
He would be terrifying. I like Michael Myers, truthfully. I think he is the unstoppable force.
I think as far as level of dimension,
yeah,
he's the most demented.
Yeah. I mean, he is the most. If that dude was,
he killed somebody when he was 5 years old, dressed up as a clown.
Yeah. I don't know all the history, but I'll go with that. If you're wrong, Adam of Adam and JP or Podcast Roll will definitely let us know.
I hope so.
And actually, I do want to apologize. I feel like I probably should have put Rocky 2 on my list. I kind of ran out of slots, but I think Rocky 2, is a better film than Rocky. I think Rocky is a bit of a slow.
It is a slow movie, but the fact that he loses at the end.
I know. Everyone says that, but dude, come on. Okay.
I'm just saying.
He wins the moral battle. All right, Hannibal Lecter, number one for me. Who do you got? Your number one.
My number one.
Yeah, of course. That's yeah.
Darth Vader. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. From A New Hope.
Okay, fair enough. Even you could say Empire. He's the same badass. You could say from Rogue One.
Yeah.
Dude.
But I mean, he was barely in it, and there's the only like sliver of like. The only tiny thing I don't like about Rogue One is they gave Darth Vader a pun.
Yeah, it's funny, though. It is a funny line.
But it's not him.
I hope you don't choke on your own ambition.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. I mean...
Yeah, but it's not something that would come from him.
No. But see, that's the thing with cool guy villains, is that's a new thing kind of cinema has done, is cool guy. They got to have, lines. I don't want my guys having lines. I mean, Hannibal Lecter has lines, but they're not funny. Maybe they're funny because they're not funny, but like, I would like to eat them with some fava beans. Like, bro, no, dude. Like, I'm not laughing at that. Like, I'm frightened. If I heard Vader say that, I would probably laugh. Like, dude, he's choking him out. It's a pretty good pun. So, yes, Darth Vader, obviously, all-time classic. Also powerful, which is scary.
Yes.
Hannibal Lecter, scary because he could take you. He's smart and he's strong and he'll eat you. So Darth Vader, he could choke you out. All right.
And he'll eat you.
Yeah, it's just bad stuff. Okay, so my number 2, I like the genre of women in movies when they're truly demented. And it really came down to 2 women for me. I don't know if you have any women on your list or not.
I was trying to look, and I wanted to include one, but I just couldn't.
Okay, so I will give you then, knowing that, I will give you who the 2 I had to go between. First off, I thought of Gone Girl with Ben Affleck.
I thought of her.
Amy Dunn. Wow. I don't know if you guys have seen Gone Girl. I watched it just last week because it has Carrie Coon in it as Ben Affleck's sister. And she is such a good actress. She has been in all these movies I've literally seen and did not even know it was her. So I've gone back and rewatched it. She is so good in that movie. But the lead actress who plays Amy Dunn, terrifying. Terrifying.
Is that, Rosamund Pike?
Yes, that's who it is.
Okay.
Yes, good name drop there. I thought about her. She is very frightening. That is that she would set her own husband up for murder. That's
Can I guess your second one?
Yeah.
Because this one almost made my list.
You know who it is.
Alex from...
oh, no.
Oh.
Alex from who?
Fatal Attraction.
Oh, okay. No, but that's a good one. No.
That was the worst of the worst of the girls I could think of.
Our man Stephen King delivers again. Annie Wilkes from Misery.
Oh, I'll take that back. She was on my...
Dude.
She was, yeah.
How frightening is that? That movie made Kathy Bates, bro. Like, there is not a shadow of a doubt. That is terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
Because, A, she's nuts. Like, completely nuts. Delusional.
Completely at her mercy.
Yes. And that scene with the hammer, all time.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, okay. Oh, choke me out with the force. Okay, man. Like, really? I'm watching that and I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever, dude. Eat me. Okay, bro, whatever. No. That hammer scene.
That's something that can happen.
Frightening.
Yeah.
Like, it's so bad. It's oh my God, dude. So yes, Annie Wilkes, delusional fan, finds the author of a book, and then the chaos goes there. Stephen King, we said, great story writer. He creates these great characters. Are the endings sometimes? I mean, Misery's got a decent ending. Okay. I mean, as far as he goes. So that's my number 2, Annie Wilkes.
I'll give you. Okay, yeah. She was actually, I forgot about her. Yeah, she's definitely on my list.
All right. So who's your number 2?
My number 2. I think this actor, we could have gone. We could have probably made a villains list for just him.
Okay.
Hans Gruber.
Oh yeah. That was definitely was on my short list. I didn't write it down because I thought you would take it, but Hans Gruber, yes, from Die Hard is a good one. I mean, because he possesses all those qualities of, if you work for that guy, I mean, you probably like him. Like, if you worked for Darth Vader, there's no chance you like the guy.
Yeah.
If you work for, I mean, I don't know why you'd be working for Hannibal Lecter, but Darth Vader makes more sense. You would be like, hell no, I'm not going in there. Hans Gruber, I mean, as far as working for him, he seems all right, but he is an arrogant, self-grandiose dude. Yeah. That's sometimes a good villain when they think they're the most, and sometimes they are the most intelligent guy in the room, and they cannot be beat. I mean, in his mind, his plan is so great that he cannot be beat, even by a cowboy like John McClane. So, yeah. John McClane. Oh, that's a good one. All right, so Hans Gruber from Die Hard. All right, do you want to add anything on to Mr. Gruber? Why did he make your number 2?
I mean, Alan Rickman.
He's so good.
I mean, you could, like I said, you could take him from different movies. I mean, for the Harry Potter series, I know he wasn't technically the main villain, but his portrayal of Snape is just, he just comes off as just a really bad dude.
Robin Hood.
Sheriff Nottingham.
He's good at that movie. I don't care. We know that movie's not good. That's one of those bad good movies.
When he has to explain to somebody why he wants to torture somebody, and it's just going over their head. It's
great.
Yeah.
All right, so Hans Gruber, good. Okay, number 3. I'm gonna go. Now I thought one of my favorite directors today is Tarantino. Is probably the top of the list. Writes these amazing. Oh, man. Hold on, you don't know who I'm picking.
I know who you're picking.
Writes these amazing villains. It came between two. But my guy. Oh yeah, you know it. Are you gonna have him on your list? If so, I'll go with the other guy I had. I mean,
No, I want your list to be pure.
I mean, I have both of them on like side by side. I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna let you have him because I want the other guy. I'm glad now that I know you have him on your list. I'm gonna feel confident going with the guy. God, I hope this is his name, Colonel Hans Landa.
Inglourious Bastards.
Inglourious Bastards. Now, while I like this guy, number one, he's a Nazi. So already that's top of the list, right? That's almost like cheating. But his opening scene, man, where he has the people hiding the Jews underneath the floor.
Yeah.
He's intelligent. He's ruthless. He kills people just without, who cares? Like, to them, they're just meat on people. And to see, I'm not going to spoil if you've never seen Glorious Bastards, go out and see it. But he is so good, Hans, in this movie. I mean, this made his career. This is cementing him as an actor that now we recognize. But what's his name? Christoph Waltz.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. He eats up the scenery we've ever seen. But this guy would be terrifying in real life. I mean, literally, when we think of real historical moments in this Tarantino world, it's kind of a quasi thing. Frightening, because this actually happened. There were people like this guy in real life that literally, when we think about how crazy it is in this country, they were literally sentencing Jewish people to their deaths, man, like to be gassed, and knew they were doing it. And it's kind of frightening. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Colonel Hans from Inglourious Bastards. So, all right. So, you're number 3.
My number 3. Dave knows it. And I mean, unless you've been under a rock or you don't know Tarantino very well, Calvin Candy.
Oh, man. That was so.
Django Unchained.
I basically had them at like 3A, 3B. That's why I feel good giving you the other one. I could talk about Calvin Candy.
He is, I mean, the thing is okay, obobviously.
Slave
racist.
owner. So, once again, Nazi slave owner.
I mean, yeah, that's a gimme. But like, I mean, in a lot of movies, you've got those racists that they just don't matter.
Yeah.
But I mean, this guy, his smugness, and then like his anger to flip on a dime, and then to be like quasi charming, and the next second is just.
Oh, it's
DiCaprio.
That helps too.
Bar none, he's one of the greatest, if not one of the greatest actors alive right now.
Oh, no. Today?
Yeah.
I would say today, 2021, he is the greatest actor alive today.
He's awesome.
Right now, today. I would say Daniel Day-Lewis would be up there, but he's not doing anything. He hasn't been in a movie. I think he retired, so that's why I would give it. Now, if Daniel Day-Lewis is still acting, he's the best actor possibly ever. I mean, truthfully. But, yes, that's a good one. Calvin Candy, owner of Candy. What's it called? Candy? It's not called Candyland, is it?
No.
Anyways, whatever his slave plantation is, this dude is the worst. This guy's, to my opinion, I think Leo's 2 best roles, and this is saying a lot, man, because you could literally do 100 roles he's done. I think this Django Unchained or Wolf of Wall Street. I think he just is so good, and wins the award for the Snow movie, which I don't know what it's called. The Reckoning, Revenant,
yeah,
which is good. Don't get me wrong, he's great in that, but man, he deserved awards for those. Okay, yes, Calvin Candy. So we got the Tarantino 3s. I like that. All right, I'm gonna go with my last one then, and I've got so many on here, so many great choices. This is why it's tough, people. One's never difficult. 1 or 2, you're like, I got this.
Yeah.
3 and 4 is where it starts to get a little bit shady. And I look at my list, man. I've got people on here that I want to list, and we'll also do, some people we didn't list. But I'm just going to go Coen Brothers, man, responsible for some great movies, great roles. But I
think I know where we're going.
Anton Chigurh.
Old Country for Old Men. Yep.
No Country for Old Men. Frightening, menacing, terrifying. That stupid haircut he has only helps add to his menacing. His weapon is a device they use to kill cattle with. This is how he's going around killing people. When this dude shows up, he is the boogeyman. He may be the most frightening dude of everyone we've named. It's like, Vader if he was real, but this guy, you see him, you are dead. Like, I don't know anyone comes across him in the movie that he wants to kill lives. Vader, a lot of people escape Vader. People escape Hannibal Lecter. No one escapes Antoine Chigurh. I mean, what a character, what a villain. So that is my last. I'm going to round it out with him. That's my last one, Antoine Chigurh from No Country for Old Men. All right. So, John, Who is your last? Who's falling at that last spot for you?
I am torn between two big ones.
Uh-oh. Here we go. I wonder if they're on my list.
Since most of mine are, 80s and more recent.
Yeah. Are you going old school?
I think I got to go older.
Don't you list somebody from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, bro.
No.
That would be hilarious if you did that.
That would be funny. I'm going to have to go with, and oddly enough, your choice played in a 007 movie.
Okay.
But I'm going to go with probably the most menacing of, in my opinion, of the 007 villains, Goldfinger.
Goldfinger. I didn't have any James Bond on my, because I think they're kind of corny. I mean, but I don't know. To me, the Bond movies are so, they're almost like a comic book movie. Like I know Star Wars is, but it's not. But I don't know. What do you like about Goldfinger? I mean,
to me, the most iconic villain line for any 007 movie, and a lot of villain movies, period. 007's like, do you expect me to talk?
No,
he said,
Mr.
No,
Bond,
Mr.
I expect
Bond,
you
I
to
expect you to die.
Yeah, that's a good line.
So,
It's a good line, man. I mean, it's all time.
It seemed like his when greed comes in movies, it seems like there's a level to it where there's just like, no.
Yeah.
Like I take what I want, and if I can't get it, then I'll take it anyway. Just
right. Yeah, no, he's a classic, obviously. I mean, he is the essential Bond villain. I mean, you have to say that.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I'll run down the list, and we'll go down people that didn't make the cut. My list is Hannibal Lecter, Annie Wilkes, Hans Landa, Antoine Chigurh. Yours is Darth Vader, Hans Gruber, Calvin Candy, and Goldfinger. Who did not make your cut? I'll see if I did. I've got a bunch too.
Agent Smith.
Okay, from Matrix.
Matrix movies.
Yep.
Biff from Part 2.
I know. I thought about putting him in just because he's Trump, but I think it's a little bit on the nose.
Jigsaw.
Okay. That's a horror movie.
It is. That's why I didn't.
Okay, it's a horror movie.
But he wasn't like the slasher though. He was a.
Yes, I understand what you're saying. Yes, I understand what you're saying.
Norman Bates. That also.
Yes. Well, no, that's not a horror movie. That's a Hitchcock movie. Hitchcock was above. It's more of a thriller if you want the truth.
Yeah.
Have you watched Psycho? I rewatched that as well. I rewatched a lot of movies, John, like over the last, and Psycho was one of those I went back and I watched a couple of Hitchcock movies I hadn't watched. I rewatched that one. It is so good. Anyway, go ahead.
Hal from 2001 Space Odyssey.
Yeah, Kubrick is good.
The one that I was having trouble with choosing to balance out my last choice was Patrick Bateman from American Psycho.
Yeah, that's he's kind of like the villain and the hero.
Yeah, because he's the focal point of the movie.
Yeah.
Max Cody from Cape Fear.
I've got him. He's frightening. Yes. Robert De Niro is great. Yeah.
Terminator.
Okay. Yeah.
Scar from Lion King.
Oh, that would have been a good number 4. That'd have been a good number 4.
And my one really likable one, Bodhi from
what? Not Point Break.
Yeah, Point Break.
Oh, he's not a villain, bro. Come on.
That's why I said he was likable.
Yeah, but he's not a villain. He's not a villain, man. What does he do? He doesn't really do anything. He lets them go essentially at the end. He never hurts the bad guy. He's just a bank robber, dude. Anyways, whatever. Okay, I had like I said, Amy Dunn. I had Noah Cross from Chinatown. If you've never seen Chinatown, go watch the ending. You'll think he's
probably
one of the worst villains of all time.
And it's probably one of the classic Nicholson.
Oh,
yeah.
But that ending, if you people don't know, go watch China. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but that last scene, you're like, oh, this may be the worst guy on the list. I also had Max Frank Booth from Blue Velvet. Oh, if you've never seen Blue Velvet, holy, that's Dennis Hopper.
I haven't seen that one. I'll have to watch that.
Oh,
one.
it is. It's a madhouse.
Dennis Hopper's one of those guys that notoriously plays bad guys.
You won't be ready for Blue Velvet. It is Lynch. It is an insane movie, but you should watch it. I had John Doe from Seven.
That's a good one.
And I think that's about it. Those were my serious contenders. So there we go. I think we did a decent list. So there we go. That's our top villains. So let me kind of look in the chat and see what people said. The Prince from Frozen. Okay. I mean, he is a dick. I'll give that. Cruella de Vil. Obviously, a bunch of Disney fans here. Michael Myers is the best horror character. The Emperor on Star Wars. Maleficent. A lot of Disney love here. So there we go. Just a couple in the chat room. So there you go. All right. So hopefully you will engage with us on social media and let us know who made your list, who didn't. Let us know, and we'll put up our results this week and let you engage with us. So, okay. So what else is going on? Well, the Predators are starting their season, which is crazy. So we must talk about Tennessee Titans. I know people don't love sports, but they got knocked out of the playoffs, which sucks. Us both, you being probably more of a casual sports fan than me, I'm more curious, have you watched any football this year in the COVID era? Like, is there a reason? Just because life? I mean,
most of the games are on Sunday, and that's the only day I actually get to catch up on my sleep.
There you go.
And so
you've watched 0 Titans games?
0 football.
Okay, 0 football. It has. It's been a very interesting year. I mean, it's been one where obviously COVID played huge into it. I mean, that'd be foolish to say with the crowds, but there are many games that had to be rescheduled. One team, I believe it was the Ravens, had to play 3 games in like 10 days or some crazy nonsense because people they were playing against had COVID. And it's been a weird season, but, as most football seasons, I mean, there are favorites that are likely to win. The Chiefs are one of the big favorites, the Green Bay Packers, the Saints. My man, Tom Brady, still in the playoffs, baby, still with Tampa Bay. I made a purchase this week that when I show it to you in person, man, it is a I don't know when I'm going to get it. I think it's on back order. But, dude, it is the best Tom Brady shirt you'll ever see in your life. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. I'm going to walk in here on one Thursday. I'm going to be rocking this Tom Brady shirt, and you're going to be like, get out of my house, probably. But he's still in it, man. And him and Drew Brees will be the oldest 2 quarterbacks to ever play each other in a playoff game this weekend. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Now that the Titans are out, obviously, I'm a Nashville native. I love the Nashville teams. Even sometimes when the city gets to be a little bit too much for me and it bothers me, I'm wearing a Predators hat right now, if you see on the stream. I love to support my local teams, but sometimes the people that claim they're from Nashville and they're not, they get on my nerves a little bit, and it kind of bugs me. Like, I want the Predators to do good, but sometimes you get all those people going, yay, Predator. Like, dude, who are you? Like, you don't know anything about, A, sports, B, you were never a Predators fan. You never been to a game. I'm not saying I'm like some super hockey fan, but shit, man, I know the rules. I've been to games. I can at least name players on the team.
I get it. I mean, you see fans that are fans of the same team you are.
Yeah.
And you're like, part of you's like, I don't want to be fans with the same person.
Like, I don't want to be involved with these people for sure.
That's how I feel about being Republican.
There you go. Perfect. It all comes full circle. Yeah. So, yeah, man. But the Titans got knocked out. It was a hard-fought battle against the Ravens, who I hate. I hate the Ravens. I mean, I don't know how any Titans fan would not say these are our greatest rivals that ever existed.
I mean, at one point, they had like a quarter of our roster.
And they kept knocking us out of the playoffs every year. And so we knocked them out last year, and we had this good feeling. And, it's surprising that the coach, Vrabel, who is this guy who's kind of like a hothead, go for it. I mean, and people like that, man. They like that dude that's going to go for it. You had a chance on 4th and 2 to go for it while the game was still in reach and punted the ball. And they say it was there's some stat that came out said it is one of the most cowardly punts of all time. It was some index they do. So, I don't know, man. They had a great season, though. Obviously, you want to see them win all the time. But I do want to say something about the college football championship game, which was a joke. It was Alabama versus Ohio State, I believe. It's truly, it doesn't even matter who Alabama was playing. This game
Alabama's going to win.
was like a video game. Like, this dude, the quarterback, had 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, like almost at half. One receiver had like 300 yards, like 2 or 3 touchdowns, and got hurt in the third quarter and didn't play anymore. Still was probably the most valuable player for the entire. It is a joke, man.
It's like playing Madden on
rookie.
Yes,
that's what I said. I sent a tweet. I'm like, this is like playing Madden on rookie mode. It is stupid. People like college better than pros. Our friend Trapper Haskins tweeted something or sent something on Facebook. He goes, why do these people like college better than pros? It is a joke, dude. And I get it. If you're not looking at who's going to be the championship, it's probably fun. But I just come from an era where if you're not going to win it all, what's the point? Like, oh, wow, we won the Weed Eater Independence Bowl. Like, yep, I mean, if Vanderbilt did that, that'd be great. But, every other team's not Vanderbilt. So, I don't know, man. It kind of sucks, but that happens. So, well, sports is here. Predator's here. I guess the stream has stopped for some reason. I don't know why. But we're going to keep on going. Oh, the video just dropped out. Well, as long as they can hear us, who cares? The show got better. It actually
got better.
It improved. Oh, the GoPro died. So, anyway, I'll try to switch out real quick for you where you people can see our lovely faces until the end. But sports is here. But I'm asking all that to say, do you really care, John, about sports at this age in your life? Do you really care?
It's hard for me to really care.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
No, I mean, the teams that I identify with the most all the way across sports probably be the Titans and the Orioles.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, if the Titans went to the Super Bowl, yeah, I'd be happy.
Right. That's, yeah.
And, I'd make it a point to watch that game.
Right.
And then the Orioles, if they made it to the postseason, I would watch those games. But,
right.
I mean, as far as, like, season play, I'm just kind of...
So is that like a symptom of age or what? Because I was, like, passionate about sports, dude.
Yeah.
Like crazy about sports. But I still watch, man, but it's just it don't have that same...
I think there's
same vibe.
I think there's a level of maturity that goes to it. Say your team wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That Monday morning, how is your life different?
That's a good. I've said that before. Like, is anything really like changed? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh wow, we won the Super Bowl. Yippee! Hey everybody, look at us.
It started to click with me. It wasn't long after I'd become Mormon.
Yeah.
I went to a Monday Night Football game with you and Corey.
Mm-hmm.
And, bad things were happening as far as we weren't getting the calls that we were getting. And I was throwing out some F-bombs and, I was getting heated.
I've never heard this before.
And Corey, of all people, was like, John, calm down with the F-bombs.
I vaguely remember this now.
And I was just like, oh, hold on, if Corey's telling me
yeah, right.
there's an issue, and I'm like, wait a minute, why am I upset?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a game. It's not like my kid's on the field.
Right. I feel you on that.
And so I think that was kind of a moment where I started to look at sports in general in a different way.
I think you probably nailed it there. So, I mean, that being said, like we said, I hope the Predators have a great season. I think it's weird that hockey starts while football's still going on, but hey, do your thing.
I mean, that being said, I still love watching like highlight reels and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, when people are doing like acts of athleticism,
mm-hmm.
I'm all over that.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I still love football. Like, I will watch a random game on a Sunday afternoon of two teams I don't even care. That's the best games to me. Just watching and not having to go, come on. Like, it's just, you're just like, I'm with you. At one point I was like, all right, Titans win Super Bowl. And I mean, I don't get a ring. They're not sending me anything. I walk around. The thing is, anybody could jump on the bandwagon at any point. They get as much satisfaction as I do. That's the scary part. Like, you could be a Titans fan. Let's say you were born the year they came here. You were diehard. Your room's everything tight, man. You tightened out. They win the Super Bowl. You're going to have the same feeling as maybe someone that just started watching when the playoffs started, essentially.
No, I mean, if it was like a Hunger Games situation where, like, the team who wins, that city got, like, $50 million or something.
That'd be dope.
That'd bring a whole new thing.
There we go.
So
we'll see. Well, if Trump ever
Roger
gets back,
Goodell, you're listening.
Well, if Trump ever gets back in office, it might be like that, but with the bad ramifications if your team doesn't win. All right. Well, I guess we've come to the end of the episode. We had a blast talking about our boy Trump, sending him off into because when we come back next week, he will no longer be president. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. we'll see what happens. Hopefully nothing, all peaceful. But we also did our best villains. So if Trump had ever been in a movie where he was a villain, he totally would have made the list. But I almost put him in as Home Alone 2. I almost did, but I was like, that'd be kind of kitschy. And I don't want to look back at a list 2 years from now and go, I want to do it more. But anyways, that being said, I do want to give a big shout out. I recorded something with the guys from Cobras and Fire this week, which will come out the next couple of weeks. I'm not going to say what it was, but I will be sharing all that social media when it comes out. But I had a great time with Baco, one of the hosts. We talked for about an hour and a half, had a great time. So when that hits, I'll tell you what it is. It's music related. And also I want to give a big shout out to my friends, our friends at Rock Candy Podcast. They sent me this sweatshirt, this hooded sweatshirt a while back. It's such a nice sweatshirt. It's available for sale. They've got t-shirts for sale now. If you go just Google Rock Candy Podcast, go get one of their shirts. I took some pictures for them, and I want to tell them again, thank you so much for sending me this. It's very nice, very appreciative, and I love it. I love wearing hooded sweatshirts. I could wear them year round if it, not if it's hot. But I don't know if they had some like thin ones. I'd probably think about it. But anyway, all that being said, that's thank you so much for that. So yeah, man, what they need to do after you do that, we've got merchandise for sale as well. You can find it on our website, which for some reason is not coming up, but that's okay. If you go to bybpod.com, that's bybpod.com is our website. I watched a movie, the new movie on Netflix called Pieces of a Woman. I wrote a review up. You should go read it, see if you want to watch the movie. I try to do movie reviews, but we got all of our past episodes on there. Me and John, the ones with me, John, and Lee, if you want to go back and binge some of those. We've got merchandise for sale, shirts, hats, face masks, all that good stuff. And you can email us directly to the show if you want to do that. We do have a segment called Dear John. We might bring it back next week where John gives advice to people. So if you want to send us a question, we're there for that. Subscribe, rate, review, do all that good stuff. Come hang out with us on Thursday nights. And with all that being said, John, is there anything else?
Don't blame yourself when you can blame your brother.
Bye.